One of the best ways to absolutely destroy a guitar tone, doing way too much EQ. Let me show you what I mean, right? Every time you do EQ, you introduce phase shifts into the guitar tone. Now, this is terrible because guitars really are, being a broadband instrument, you can shift the notes in the guitars all over the spectrum here. And what basically happens is you create something that is phasey. In other words, the guitar tone becomes washy, soft, like round and undefined. So it's not punchy, it's not brutal, it's not amazing anymore. And too much EQ is exactly what it sounds like. You've got EQ moves that you do this, like this, right? And then, this usually is because you don't have the source correct. So you're like, oh my God, there's a lot of stuff here. Oh, take that way out. Oh, no, I need to put some more of this here. Take this out here. Nah, it's a little bit too much. Let's do that. Ooh, need some more of this. And if your guitar EQ looks something like this, you need to go back to your IR loader or re-record or whatever, because your IR selection and your speaker selection is completely incorrect for the type of sound that you're trying to create. This is terrible EQ. You never want to do this. This is not how you EQ guitars. You want to get it right at the source. Like I said, this is one of the best ways to destroy your guitar tone. Another fantastic way to destroy your guitar tone would be too many notches. Now, I know we've all been there. We've all been there, guys. I know what you're going to say. But Scott, I've seen the video where Joey Sturgis did like 3 or 4 guitar notches, and he was doing like 2.3K, 3.2K, 3.8K, and then, the 4K. You got to notch the 4K, Scott. You got to notch them. You got to get rid of them. You just got to destroy them. And you're going to get in there and slice and dice, and you're going to be like, and you're going to find out it doesn't work. For the same reason that you do too much EQ in general, and mistake number 1, mistake number 2 being too many notches is pretty much exactly the same, but you're going to create a hollow point in your guitar tone. You're going to create holes in your guitar tone. It'll become thin and, again, undefined. And there's another thing that you need to watch out for, too. Let me just do something here. Great. Let's say that we want to get rid of that. So this is pretty much generally what I used to do in the beginning, and I saw a lot of people do this in the beginning. I've done a lot of one-on-one mix coaching and my mix tutor stuff with my monthly coaching, and I've received screenshots of mixes where it looks like this. There's these big notches that are just crazy like that all over the place. It seems like they took it to heart, where people say, find a whistle and destroy it. Doing notches like this does not help your guitar tone. And when you do have to notch, because you will have to, sometimes doing it minus 12 or even minus 18 dB, which I've seen before, and I've seen it all, because I've also done it all. I've seen this. You see what's happening. You see, we're creating holes in our guitar tones. Now, you just neutered the guitar tone. We took the aggressiveness away. We took the balls away. We took the ferocity out of it. It just doesn't sound good anymore. So too many notches, really bad idea. Notches that go too deep, even more of a bad idea. What you really want to do when you're doing notches, because you're going to have to, you will, is you want to take a notch, basically. Let's just do this. And what you really want to do is you don't want to do that much of a cue, right? You want to just kind of go like that. Set it to unity gain. What I like to do is I'll have the mix playing. I play the mix and I hold down shift and I just kind of jog it like this. And what you want to do is you want to take away just as much of that nasty whistle for the notch to where it's not the loudest thing in the guitar tone. So if we go in solo mode here, it's undeniably audible when the EQ is bypassed. But I've only taken out as much as I need to take out. In this case, 1.27 dB. There's no reason to do minus 12 or minus 18. That's a great way to destroy your guitar tone. Another fantastic way to destroy your guitar tone would be to follow mix recipes or presets or arbitrary predetermined EQ cuts and boosts and things like this. EQ presets are really nice for saving time. I have a lot of them. Okay, you're going to see one in just a minute here. But they're geared towards saving time, and they're guides. Almost never is an EQ preset going to work to the point where you insert it, you activate it, and you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed. It's, they're sold very often like, sound like the pros, just insert this EQ preset and you're gonna boom, bam, magic. It's very rarely the case. EQ presets and arbitrary moves are guides, and they should be changed to fit your situation. Even different tuning, different string gauge, different style of music. These are all very important things you have to consider when you're working with EQ, especially with guitars. So don't just arbitrarily do this because somebody you know does it. But, for example, someone might be like, yep, I like to cut my guitars all the way up to 110. Okay, well, what genre of music are they playing in? All right, are they in standard E tuning? Because I could see it in standard E tuning. I can't see this if I'm in drop A, right? You gotta put some thought into what you're doing with your EQ moves. So, a great way to distort your guitar tone is just apply an EQ preset or do arbitrary cuts without thinking at all what your source tone needs. Now, speaking of presets that are actually useful, I have this preset called palm mutes. So one of the best ways to distort your guitar tone would be to not take care of the low end rumble and the low mid mud that'll come in, especially in metal guitars with palm mutes. This is affectionately known in the world as the Andy Sneap C4 trick. If you don't know what that is, there's in the cards up here, I think maybe over here, you can click that and read more about how to use it and why it works. All I've done here is I've recreated the Andy Sneap trick in Pro MB instead of using Waves C4. This is a preset. I just load this. It's set to usually like 92 to 254, and I adjust as needed based on guitar tuning and where the most humps are happening. And I do just enough to kind of thin out the guitar tone so I don't have any whoop when the palm mutes are happening. This is very important to do because if you leave this badonkadonk in your guitar, the badonkadonk is going to destroy the entire mix. I think most people agree that a little bit of badonkadonk is nice, but once it gets a little bit on the ridiculous side, it's a little bit too much badonkadonk to handle, and it's no longer a good thing. So keep the badonkadonk under control. Finally, the absolute best way to destroy your guitar tone always is to make your critical mix decisions in solo. I made this mistake for so many years, guys, and I'll be honest with you, this is the worst of them all. Because eventually you will get better at EQing, your ears will adapt, you will get better at diagnosing problems, and you will get better at just doing the thing. But you'll always cut yourself off at the knees if you're always doing your major lifting in solo mode. Because it's like this, guys, right? Let's say you're making soup, okay? One of the best ways to know if you need to add more salt is to taste the soup, right? Now, what is the soup? The soup is a combination of all the ingredients into one pot to make the soup, right? If you're EQing your guitars and you're trying to make huge mix decisions on how the guitar should fit into the mix by putting it in solo, then doing the work, and then unsoloing it and checking it, that's like checking if you need to add more salt into your soup by licking a salt lick instead of just tasting the soup, okay? I mean, it's out of context with everything. So you need to work on the guitars in the context of your entire song because the guitars are part of the song. They are not the song, they are part of the song. So you need to stop EQing and doing major mix decisions in solo. Now you can still do, I have to say this because people, you can still do things in solo if you notice a problem and you really want to define it and you really want to correct it. I'm talking about EQing your guitar so they fit in the mix, right? Because if I, hit solo here, right? And I'm just going to go, okay, let's listen to this. Ew, it's all white noise and I don't like it. I'm going to get rid of that. Cool, sounds a lot better. Let's see what it sounds like in the mix. Where did my guitars go? I can't hear them. You know what? Maybe I need to boost the frequencies a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? Oh, I heard this really cool trick. Like Scott says you can take the API and you can boost the 10K and you add some more presence in your guitar tone and You're just creating more problems for yourself. It's like you put a plugin, you created a problem, and you inserted another problem to solve the solution that this problem plugin created. Don't want to do that. So if you're looking at this plugin and you're doing this in real time with the song, the guitars have come back into the song. So that is clearly the wrong move to do. Now I have the EQ here that I've actually done. Here it is. And you can see I didn't do anything here. I just did my 400 secret EQ trick video in the cards if you want to see what that was. And then one whistle that I took care of. And that's it. And it's very important to do this when music is playing, because when you look at and listen to things in solo mode, you might think things are problems when they're really not. You might go, this is a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem. And before you know it, you got 4 notches and 7 EQ moves and your guitar is washy and crap. That's the problem. With frequency masking and things working together and just basic fader balance, you will solve most of your problems in the mix, and you will stop destroying your guitar tones. Now, the last thing that I really want to say about this, you can avoid you can avoid all the mistakes except for the mixing in mono by creating the correct source tone at the beginning. That is the true key to this whole situation. I cut myself up at the knees so much, and I had so much frustration because I was using my EQ techniques and trying to grow as a mixer to fix bad guitar tones. What I should have done was spent way more time learning how to develop guitar tones, to manipulate IRs, to correctly choose the right microphone and IR combination for the vision that I had of the song. Once I got good at that, and once I realized, oh my God, if the source is good, I barely have to do any EQ. So it's kind of like, wow, who would have thunk? I went through that whole process, wasted a long time, was very painful, very frustrating, and wasted a lot of money buying plugins and EQ and trying to copy everyone's settings. These are all things that I've done, guys, okay? But once I learned that it was all about getting the correct source from the beginning, things changed dramatically. Now, it's really easy for me to tell you, just get a good guitar tone at the source, man. Get good. How? Well, you're kind of talking to the right guy about this. I created Guitar Tone Mastery, which is on Spectre Digital, but link to this is in the description below. Click it, check it out. You can read about it. You can listen to the guitar tones in the demo video here on the store page, and you can make your own decision. All right. The main thing is, guys, you don't have to get this if you don't want to. I just really want to make it clear. You will get better at EQ. You will get better at hearing. You will develop your ears. You will become better. But you can become better faster if you create better source material. So if you're destroying your guitar tones with too much EQ, too much notching, and trying to look for the winning mix recipe, this is it right here. Creating a great source, great guitar tone at the source, so that you don't have to do so much EQ, so everything is ready to go for you. All right. So link down below in the description. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think about it. You can leave a review down here on the bottom of the page. If it sucks, let me know it sucks. If it helped you, let me know it helped you. It'd be awesome. All right. So there you go, guys. This was the 5 best ways to destroy your guitar tones. I hope you found it enjoyable at least. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.